a generous giver? Before we read the one scripture, I want to ask, how do we become generous giver? So let's read 2 Corinthians chapter 8, 1 till 7. 2 Corinthians chapter 8. And now, brothers and sisters, we want you to know about the grace that God has given in the Macedonian churches. In the midst of the very severe trial, the overflowing joy and their extreme poverty, well up in rich generosity. For I testify that they give as much as they were able, and even beyond their ability, entirely on their own. They urgently pleaded with us for the privilege of sharing in the severe to the Lord's people. And they exceeded our expectations. They gave themselves first of all to the Lord, and then by the will of God also to us. So we urge Titus, just as he had earlier made the beginning, to bring also to completion this act of grace on your part. But since you excel in everything, in faith, in speech, in knowledge, and complete earnestness in the law we have kindled in you, see that you also excel in this grace of giving. I love the scripture, and also Paul was just bringing example of Macedonian churches that teaching us to how we can be generous giver. The Christians in the early Macedonian church set us all the great example. There's an overflowing joy in the privilege of giving for the needs of others despite their own challenging situations. The Christians didn't have much to give. They really want to give because they saw it as a privilege to give. Sisters, when you give, do you give it as a privilege or out of duty? Let's not forget giving back to God is a privilege and honor, because we know as the true disciples, we are not giving because we have to, but we are giving because for the advances of the God's kingdom. Also, I really love, true Christians' generosity can't be measured by how much one has to give, but often those who have less are more generous with that what we have. They pleaded for the chance to give. How many today have that type of heart? Begging, pleading to give, individually or as a group. I know most of us like to excel in things we are good at. If we have a good voice, we like to sing. If we are good at cooking, we like to cook for others. But here, God commanded us to add to things we excel in. We must excel in the grace of giving. It is not option. It's just like loving is not option for us, the followers of Christ. For example, we don't the time hours of giving to someone we love or consider out of duty done. We lavish our love on them. We generously provide for them because we love them. It should be with the same heart that we give to God and in His kingdom and His children. And when I think about giving generously, I always think of when I give Christmas gift. And I want to encourage, love as many people as possible, yet often because of financially, it's limited. So however, this time, last Christmas, it was my first time celebrating Christmas with my husband. And then I was, it's so interesting, I'm learning a lot. And I had a very different attitude. And I don't want to put limit on his gift. And I was like, what I want to give and what he wants. Then I try my best to figure out how I can possibly give that gift. Why? Because he's my precious relationship. With him, my standard is lavish generously. But I have to ask myself, how am I giving to God? It should be same with God. It's our prime relationship and love of our lives. And to God, we must start from the point of what can I give to the love of my life to make my God feel special. Lavishing on generous portion of love on Him in the thing He values most on earth in His kingdom. Also, I want to lift up my Phnom Penh International Christian Church for the sisters. They are great support for me and also great support for Phnom Penh International Church. They're not just excel their faith and also love, they excel in the grace of giving. The last December, we had a special mission. So I want to lift up the missionaries from Manila. Jera, Irene, Candy, even Kate and Vanessa. They all complete their special missions last December, and some of them give more than they already pledged to give. I want to ask my sisters, are you excelling in your giving? Is your giving increasing in line with all other spiritual areas of your life? In love, in faith, in prayer, in also understanding of scriptures? Has your generosity ceased to grow? Let's be generous, and God, He richly provides us with everything we need. Before you decided what to give, I really want to challenge you. Go and talk through with God, because He's the one to whom we must give account, no one else. Thank you.